Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's take it at around the 40. Nifty footwork at the 45. And Hill running right through him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. This is Goldman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now a handoff looking right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 13 yards that time of the 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And they'll run it here. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Dalton once more. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Flushed out right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Still shedding tackles. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time. And they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Stafford on 3rd down. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
On 3rd down, Nixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. Leaves him with a 4th down now. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
On first down, it's Stafford. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Stafford. He's going to launch this. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Giants. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Now Joe Mixon, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Dalton. He's going to fire one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a handoff looking right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Stafford. The open man is Shark. It's complete. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. On first down, Stafford here. It's a foot race. 30. Past the 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now out come the Giants. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Middle. Check safety. 53. Ready.
Stafford on first down. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
10.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, alert it, tag 53.
A final shot before the break. Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Okay, we got four. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, now he bowls him over. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. Going up top. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 20. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Dalton, 1st and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here you go, 368.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Passing, it's Dalton, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Here you go, 368.
Another chance for Dalton. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
52-44. Get ready for 57 over there.
So Dalton now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Dalton on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough. Legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Bullock will put this one through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, Stafford. Hits his target, Hunter. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Here we go.
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, alert it, tag 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He's to the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. That would go.
It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over